Hey, what's up? So it's Tyler, and today I would like to show you the tech that I use every day or a lot, travel with school, kind of all of that stuff. So I'm going to have two parts to this. I'm going to have my daily tech, things I use every day, and my travel tech, which is things that I take on flights, road trips, but aren't like in my pockets or in my backpack every day. So without further ado, let's get started with my daily tech. First thing is going to be my phone, which is also my camera. It's the iPhone 14 Pro. Yeah, it's recording, so I can't like show it, but here's the box. It is the Space Black, I believe, 128 gigabyte model. I pre-ordered it and got it on launch day. It's, I think, one of the first things that I ever pre-ordered, and yeah, it served me pretty well for the last 2.5-ish years. The battery has been replaced already, and it's already back to 87% battery health. So yeah, that's not incredible. I think battery life is the worst part about this phone at this point, and not only that, but it gets really hot. So if you follow me on there, I've tweeted about it a couple times, but it just gets really hot for no perceivable reason, and I think it was just a recent iOS update causing that. I don't know. Whatever it is, it's a mess, and I'm not a huge fan of it. I will be upgrading to the iPhone 17 Pro this September. But yeah, I still think the 14 Pro is a great phone, and I really like it. The next thing that I use every day is my Apple Watch Series 10. Now, I made 2 videos about this one a couple months ago. I'll put a link up here if you want to check that out. But yeah, it's an Apple Watch, of course, so it obviously does, you know, your texts, calls, notifications, email, music, workout tracking. And I think the thing I use it most for is really just notifications. And I do track my sleep with it every night. So you can't really do that with an iPhone, but I think that and maybe workout tracking are the only thing that I like really use the Apple Watch for. I think a lot of the reason I still like it is as like a fashion piece, I guess, but yeah, it's not like the most useful thing that I carry every day, but I still really like it. Next up, of course, I have to talk about my iPad Pro. I do use this almost every day. I made a video about it, I'm gonna have to say last year when I bought it. So this was another one I bought at launch. I don't think it was launch day, but I think it was launch weekend that I bought it. It was like right after. I saved up my money, and yeah, I've really enjoyed it. It's the iPad Pro M4 11-inch, 256 gigs, which I think is the base storage anyway. But yeah, it served me really well. I love the OLED screen. I love it. It's incredible. It's become my main TV pretty much because I mostly watch a lot of YouTube and once in a while a TV series. So when I am, I'll be in my bed, in the kitchen, wherever on my iPad. So I can't say that I do a lot of creative work. I feel like the M4 chip in it is very underutilized in my case, but I love the size, I love the screen. Battery life is really great as well. I'm really proud of myself. I've done a really good job keeping it in good battery health. I think it's still at 100. It's been a year because unlike my phone, I don't always need the iPad on. So I only charge it when it gets low enough to like 30-20%, and then I unplug it once it gets to 100. I put it in low power mode when I'm in school and asleep so that it doesn't drain when I'm not even near it. And yeah, no, I really like it. All right, next up is one of my very favorite devices. It's my AirPods Pro 2 with Type-C. So I bought the AirPods Pro 1 a couple years ago. I think it was 2021. And they were great. I had Apple Care, and I kept having issues with the earbuds. I got like both buds replaced multiple times. The case was replaced once. And then at some point, the buds were out again, and I did not have Apple Care anymore. So the lady at the store was like, it'll be like $180 to replace it. And I thought it would be ridiculous, so I went online. I was able to trade the broken pair into Best Buy, because they weren't fully broken. It was just a little quiet in one ear. It was mostly fine. So I traded those into Best Buy, and I ended up getting, I think, $45 in credit to put towards these. They were on sale as well, so it was like $145 to get my AirPods Pro 2, and I love them. I wear them all the time. Transparency mode and noise canceling are both incredible. Sound quality is great. Fast device switching is really good. However, they are a little weird on older devices. So if they're not natively supported on the device, so if it's like in iPod Touch or older iPhone, it will do everything in its power to disconnect from them. Like if I get any sort of notification on my iPhone, it'll disconnect. And then they're the opposite on older Macs. So on my 2017 MacBook Pro, which I will get to later, it will stay connected as long as it can, so it just won't switch back to anything else. I don't know why it does this. It's really weird and kind of annoying, but that's my only gripe. Battery life is great, case is great, sound is great. I think every single box that earbuds could check for me, they do. Like, they don't have very many flaws. Oh, and by the way, the volume controls are great. When I made my video about the AirPods 4, when I used those for a week, I think volume control on the stem is like the one thing I missed the most. So yeah, the AirPods Pro 2 are great, must buy. Now, one of my newer purchases, I think it was only 1 or 2 months ago, is the Beats Pill. I've got the black one. I got it on sale, I think for $100. Unfortunately, like a week after I got mine, they came out with the new colors, and I love that blue, but it wasn't out when I got it, and I don't think it has ever been on sale yet. So no, I'm still really happy with this, and it's just a color. But the sound quality is really good. For such a small thing, it gets really loud, and of course, being an Apple product, it syncs to all my devices really nicely. Connection's great, and it, interestingly, does have a microphone. I didn't know that when I bought it, but you know, regardless of if you like it or not, you can shout to the voice assistant on the iPhone, which I will not say because it'll trigger. You could shout to that to change music, take calls on it. So it is also kind of a great like call speaker. If you're at home at a desk and need to take a call, it's not terrible. So yeah, no, I really recommend the Beats Pill. I think in my use, it's a lot better than a JBL. I have used them. I do like the sound from those, but the Beats Pill is just really nice, really sleek looking, just a great package overall. Now, next up, it is behind me right now on the monitor. It is my 2021 14-inch MacBook Pro. I think it is my single favorite piece of tech that I own. I bought it on sale. I think it was like $1,600. I was gonna buy an M2 MacBook Air, but then I wanted 16 gigs of RAM and 512 gigs of storage, and that's what that has. It was the base model of the Pro, but you have to spend extra to get that in the Air. So an Air with 16 gigs of RAM and 512 gigs of storage would have cost the same as that did on sale. So better screen, better graphics, better ports, all why I bought the MacBook Pro instead of the Air, and it's been an incredible investment. I have edited every single video of this channel on here, except I think I edited the iPad review on my M3 iMac, which isn't in my daily tech. I'll probably make a video about that later, but almost every video on my channel has been edited on that MacBook. It still feels incredibly fast, even though it was like a year old when I got it. It's now 4 years old, almost, and it still feels brand new. Like, I could not see any reason that I would need to upgrade my computer anytime soon. Battery life is incredible, to the point that I don't even have the little battery in my menu bar, because I haven't had to think about it a single time that I have ever used it. It does mostly stay docked to my monitor, but when it does come out, the battery life has been great. Speaking of my monitor, I'm going to count that and what's on my desk. So the monitor is a Samsung M7 32-inch. It's 4K, got all the smart stuff built in, and I think the main reason that I bought it was just that it was really well-rounded. It was on sale for $300, which it usually is, and it has a 4K screen. It has a Type-C port, multiple HDMI's, smart features, like AirPlay and whatnot, which I really like. And there is one thing that was like a standout for me, which is like what pushed me over the edge, is that it has HDMI ARC. So the soundbar which I have, which is a Bose TV speaker, I don't have much to say about that other than it's a pretty good speaker and was the only thing I could fit in that space. That connects over HDMI ARC, and the monitor has HDMI ARC. So the two of them work together really well. You also have HDMI CEC, so you can just use the one remote to control everything. And then I don't know, I've managed to set it up to the point that all I need to do is press the power button on my Magic Keyboard with Touch ID, and then it turns on, hit the button again, it turns off, all in just that one button press. I don't know, I love the simplicity of it. It's great. And speaking of that, the Magic Keyboard with Touch ID, I bought it full price a couple of years ago, I think 2023, and it was quite a bit, but I really like that style of keyboard more. I don't know, I feel like it's faster than something like a mechanical keyboard. And to go with it, I have an MX Master 3S. I used a Magic Mouse for a while. I promise you, I tried that. And I actually bought a Magic trackpad because I thought that I would like the trackpad, but it just doesn't feel right at a desktop. I actually returned the trackpad. I just couldn't get behind it. But I landed on the MX Master 3S, and it's probably my favorite mouse. It has all of the buttons you could ever need, so customizable, pretty good battery life. I think I've only had to charge it a handful of times in the 6 months I've had it. So yeah, that's really great. And I have the white color, and I will report that so it's rubber, so it does get semi-grubby a little bit. I keep my hands pretty clean, by the way. But when it did get grubby, I was able to wipe it off. I have these like Windex electronics wipes. I wiped it off and it looks brand new again. So I wouldn't really worry about the durability of the white one. The only thing is that I think the Bluetooth connection is a little bit iffy, and I tried to use a USB dongle plugged into my monitor, but that wasn't great either. Don't get the Mac one, by the way. The only difference between the Mac one and the normal one is that the Mac one does not come with a USB. And you don't even need to use the USB, it's just an option. So please don't get the Mac one. Now, one of the most underrated things of my setup is this. This is a Samsung T7. I have two of them. This blue one is 2 terabytes, and I have a gray one, which is 1 terabyte. Now, this blue one specifically is used to store every video file I use. I edit off of this, so my Final Cut library is on this SSD because my laptop only has 512 gigabytes of storage, which is not enough for all of the footage that I get. So yeah, having it all offloaded onto here, and also being able to plug it into any computer ever. I have a copy, I think I put Final Cut itself on here, so literally I can plug this into any currently supported Mac and edit off of it, no problem. So that is one of my favorite things. And the 1 terabyte gray one that I have is only for Time Machine backups, but you do need a backup. It's like really important. So that's why I have that. And I'm gonna go a little lightning round with some smaller things that I don't use all the time, but they are still my daily. So this is my iPod Touch 2. You might be wondering, why is this in my daily tech? Well, because I have it on a little dock. It is right there. I have it on a speaker dock, which I both shuffle music from it occasionally, and I use it as an alarm. The iPod specifically handles the alarm because it can do the days. So it's not a constant use, but it is helpful. Another thing is this is my iPhone 5. Sometimes when I don't want to be on social media on my iPhone 14 Pro, I come on this. This supports iMessage still, so I have iMessage on here and music, and it's great for kind of getting away from social media for short times. So I use that sometimes. This is my iPod Nano 5. I use it as like a retro looking video camera. It's got a little video camera right here. The microphone is surprisingly decent. I kind of wish it was a little bit lower quality, but it is a kind of neat retro looking video camera. And for a retro looking photo camera, I have this Nikon Coolpix S550. It has, I think I have a 4 gigabyte SD card in here or something like that. Yeah, 4 gigabytes. I don't do video from it because it kills the battery, but I do use it for photos. Somewhat recently, the battery door broke. I don't know if you can see, I'll probably edit in a better video of that, but it has a little clip to keep it in, and the clip broke, so I have to tape it shut every time I want to use it. It's a shame, it's annoying, but I'm still rolling with it. I love it. All right, so next up is my 2017 15-inch MacBook Pro. This thing is absolutely ginormous and really thin. I dropped it one time off of my desk, and it kind of dented. Not terrible. This is one of the dreaded Touch Bar Butterfly Keyboard Wombo Combo MacBook Pros. I have a hot take that you will hear first. I like the Butterfly Keyboard. Don't kill me. But yeah, no, I quite like it. I think it's really fast. I actually got my typing speed high score on the Butterfly Keyboard on this MacBook. And surprisingly, it doesn't actually have any broken keys. The only one I could think of is one of them. I think Caps Lock feels a little bit sticky. But when I got it, some of the keys were sticky, but then just like typing on them and hitting them kind of hard sorted it out. So my spacebar used to be weird. It's completely normal now. I know that this key with like an apostrophe, I don't know what's called, used to be sticky. That's fine now. So I am working on a full review about this specific MacBook, so I am not going to get deep into the weeds with this one, but the main idea here is that I use it for school, and it almost barely dies every single day after school. So I can't really say that it's a great laptop, but it is better than my school laptop, and I don't trust myself to bring my my new MacBook Pro into school. All right, and I have relocated to talk about the last thing in my everyday tech. This is my 2011 iMac. It is the 21.5-inch one. It's mostly a base model. It's got the base processor, 500 gigabyte hard drive. However, I did double the RAM. It had 4 gigabytes originally, but I harvested 4 extra gigabytes from a dead 2011 MacBook Pro. Unfortunately, I can't say the peripherals are the ones that came with it. The ones that came with it, the batteries got really corroded. It was like in storage for a while. The batteries exploded. They're both unrecoverable. So this is a battery Magic Mouse that I just like had for a while. And this is a Magic Keyboard, which I bought from eBay. If you are like really detail oriented like I am, make sure you know which model would have gone with your iMac. So they had a bunch of different variants with different keys and whatnot. And the 2011 iMac at least came with one with a launchpad key. In place of that, in older ones, I believe is a dashboard key. So if you're really detail oriented, make sure you get the right one. But yeah, so this is nowhere near my main computer. It is not fast enough for that. Right now, it is booted into macOS Monterey, which runs surprisingly well. I think it would be perfect if I put an SSD in there. Don't plan on it for now, but I have it tri-booted right now. It's got macOS Mavericks, which is 10.9, 10.13 High Sierra, and like I just said, 12 point something Monterey. So Mavericks I mainly use for I sync all my iPods and my old iPhones to that. I have a local iTunes library on there, and I have used iDVD as well to make countless DVDs, because there are apps that you can get on modern Macs, but nothing in my use has come close to iDVD. I really like that app. On High Sierra, I don't do anything like of note on there. It just needed High Sierra to be able to run OpenCore, and I didn't want to get rid of Mavericks. So I also have a backup hard drive for this. Like it's not the most useful thing to me, but it does serve a purpose, and I appreciate it for that. All right, now to wrap up this video, I have 4 things that I travel with. So the first thing is the Steam Deck OLED. Now, I will be honest and say that I don't use it as much as I would like to. I do play games quite a bit. However, because I've been in school and working on videos, I don't have much time for games. So over the summer, I do, and I bring this with me on planes, on trips, and it's really great. Battery life isn't terrible. The screen is great. Performance is pretty good. I don't really have another gaming handheld for a point of reference other than a Switch. So I can't really say if the performance is great or not, but no, I've gotten a lot of enjoyment out of this. I have a lot to play. I kind of started The Witcher 3, and I'm going to be playing that over the summer. But I have some more games that I want to play. But yeah, this is really cool for travel. I really like it. Next thing is the Beats Studio Pro. I got them in this tan-ish color. It's pretty nice. So I don't think I made a video about these, but they're an interesting one for me. So please, if you're looking into them, do not buy them at full price. Don't do that. I got them, I think it was Amazon Prime Day, and I got them for half off. It was in the realm of like $175. And at that price, they're a pretty good value. But I don't think that the normal price is worth it in like any way for these headphones. So they have noise canceling and transparency mode. I think it's comparable to the AirPods. I'm not really sure if it's better or worse, honestly. So they've got these Beats logos, and the left side has buttons. You got volume up, volume down, play, pause. The right side doesn't. I find that a weird choice. And then it has the power button there. The power button's also kind of confusing, because I don't know, I keep forgetting. Since I don't use them all the time, when I do, I forget what the command for power off and noise canceling is. I think double click is noise canceling and hold is on off. Could be wrong on that. So sound quality is really good. That is one of the strong points. Battery life as well. They don't have the fast device switching that AirPods do, but they're easy to connect. So it's just one button. You don't have to put them into syncing mode, but they don't automatically do it. So there's that. You can use them wired if you really wanted to. Yeah. So the one thing is that I have a weirdly shaped head, and it's hard for me to find headphones that fit me well. So I used to have Skullcandy Crushers, and those fit terribly. They hurt. So these, I don't know. I mean, I think they look okay. Not too worried about that part. But I think that the fit is better than the Crushers, but not the best I had. And I haven't found a truly comfortable pair of headphones for me ever. And the only ones that are close are the Sony Pulse 3D, like the PS5 ones. But those are huge. I can't take them with me, and they don't have Bluetooth. So it is difficult for me personally. But I think if you have a normally shaped head, like most people do, these will be pretty good. One thing that if you're a tech person should be really important to you is having a good portable battery. And there are so many options, it's hard to pick, but I will give you my 2 cents. This is an Anker thing. I will research it and put the product name right here. But it is a 10,000 milliamp hour MagSafe, technically Qi 2 battery with this handy little screen for your battery readout. Tells you how long it'll take to charge, or at least how long it thinks it'll take, and a little kickstand. And so it connects with MagSafe to the back of your phone. I don't have anything that has MagSafe. Wait, hold on. My phone is recording this, but my AirPods have MagSafe, and you can see those don't stick too great. I think that's mostly the AirPods' fault. But yeah, it's got MagSafe. It isn't the strongest MagSafe I've ever seen. I don't think it helps that this is pretty bulky and heavy, but it does feel a little easy to take off. But if you're careful, it's fine. It hangs a little low on my phone. I think it's made more for a Pro Max, because I just have a normal 14 Pro, so it hangs off the bottom a bit, but that's not a big deal. So in what I've been able to gather, you can get around 2.5 full charges of an iPhone 14 Pro using one of these. Make of that what you will. I don't know how that translates to a Pro Max, a Plus, or even a Mini if you're still using those. So yeah, and you can also, it's got this Type-C port on the side, and that is a dual function, both charge input and works for output. So this has saved my butt a couple times. MagSafe isn't the fastest, but I enjoy it just because of the lack of a cable. So yeah, I actually do recommend this. I like it. But there are so many other options. There's probably a newer model of this because of how many things that Anker makes. It's like a lot. But yeah, I would recommend this one. And now, the very last thing on my everyday carry / travel is this. On first glance, you may not know what it is, but this is a little zipper pouch for cables and whatnot. So it's got little cable tie spots down here and a zipper pouch at the top. So I just have a Lightning, Type-C, and Apple Watch cable down here. They're all braided. My Lightning one's getting grubby. I don't know how that happened. But I really like Apple's braided cables, so there's that. My power brick, I used to use an Anker dual port one. It was like 35 watts. However, it would get so hot and it was really big and kind of loose in sockets. So I retired that. It's in my basement. I use that for just like when I'm down there. I have a Type-C and Lightning for that. But in my travel bag, I just use one of these Apple, I think they're 20 watt bricks. It's enough. You might think you want more, but for an iPhone, I don't really think it makes that much of a difference whether it's any bigger or not. I've tried using a MacBook brick, but yeah, no, it doesn't feel, the MacBook brick doesn't feel much faster than that brick anyway. So for size to power ratio, that one's pretty good. And one of my sleeper hits here is the MagSafe Duo, which is unfortunately, very unfortunately, a discontinued Apple product. They came out with this in 2020 with the iPhone 12. It was like, I think it was a MagSafe launch accessory here. So you've got one MagSafe right here and one Apple Watch, and it kind of folds up so that you could use it if you have a solo loop, which I think also came out that year. Now it can fold flat shut, or something I didn't even realize until recently, I don't know how, it'll fold the other way, so you could have just an Apple Watch or just an iPhone. It connects with the Lightnings, which also helps you figure out how dated this is. So picking this up today is hard for me to tell you because like one thing is that it's Lightning, so you will need a Lightning cable, and this Apple Watch charger is not the fast charging one. So the Series 7 and up, and I think the 10 can go a little bit faster, can go fast charge. So that will give you something. It's like 70% in half an hour. I could be very wrong. I'll put the actual time up above, but it's fast. It's great. And I use that at my desk with my Mophie dock thing. It's not Mophie, it's Belkin. What am I talking about? But that fast charging is not in this dock. So I end up just using my Apple Watch cable anyway. But then since you can put the AirPods on this little Apple Watch spot, I guess that works for overnight anyway. But yeah, no, I like it just because it's foldable and it doesn't have a hardwired cable. Like I bring this, but I wouldn't bring a normal MagSafe puck. I have one and I don't use it really at all. And if you're wondering where to get this pouch, unfortunately, I can't really help you with that because I actually got it from Dave & Buster's a few years ago. It was one of the things in that prize room. It's probably the geekiest thing that I could have picked that day, but you know what? It has been the most useful thing I have ever won in an arcade, and I have no plans of retiring it anytime soon. So that will wrap up my 2025 everyday and travel tech carry thing. I hope you enjoyed. I hope you are maybe, I don't know, inspired to buy one of these things if you like what you see. I probably won't leave links below. So yeah, I am working on a video about that 2017 MacBook Pro. Like I said, I can't give you a time. I think it's gonna take me a couple more weeks. I've been scripting it. I filmed a bit of it already, but yeah, get excited for that one. That's gonna be a big one. I'm excited myself. So If you enjoyed this, leave a like. If you have any suggestions for videos, comment them down below. I'm open to most things. This, I believe, was a suggestion. I'll put that up right here. Shout out to whoever suggested it. I can't remember off the top of my head right now. And that'll do it. Thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next video.